Money and credit are only half the battle. The other half, well, your actual life has to be ready for a house. And yeah, I know this part is not as exciting to talk about, but it's foundational to whether or not you even should be looking for a home. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. As I mentioned in a previous video, lenders like stability and boring. If your career choice or job choices don't offer that, you may find yourself in a position where you're getting higher rates than you really should. So that's something to consider. Are you job hopping a lot? Do you like to move between different fields often? Do you prefer contract work as it frees up your schedule more so you can spend more time doing the things you actually love doing rather than working all the time? But living this way can have a negative impact on your ability to get a loan or good rates. And if you get bad rates for a loan, is that worth buying a house still? Now, what about family plans? Planning on having twins, you might want to think twice about buying that one-bedroom condo in the middle of downtown, right next to your favorite bar. On the flip side, if you're empty nesters, maybe skip that 6-bedroom McMansion. And what about your commute and your lifestyle? I get the glam of having your little farmhouse, your barn dominium, nice natural pond lake out in the backyard, overlooking the 20 acres of land that you own. But if that means you gotta drive 90 minutes every single day each way to get to your job site, I'm not quite sure that's worth it. And no, working from home most days, it's not gonna cut it, because you know what's gonna happen? The moment you close on that house and move in, you can get a call back to office order from your boss. What's the takeaway here? Even if you have the money and the credit score and everything you need to be able to buy a home, the number one thing you need to think about is your lifestyle, your current living situation, and whether or not it even makes sense for you to buy a home. Now, as a realtor, I will love it if you work with me and buy a home, but I'm not that type of realtor. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Most people don't need to buy a house. Their lifestyle just doesn't call for it. And there is absolutely no shame in renting. In fact, if you run the numbers and think about the pros and cons between owning and renting, a lot of the times, renting comes out on top. So this includes chapter 1 of my series. It's a very broad overview of things you need to consider before you even consider buying a home. And to be honest, just from watching the chapter 1 series, you're already ahead of 80% of people out there. Now in chapter 2, we're gonna dive in deeper into some of these topics, from how to actually start searching for a home and how not to get fooled. So follow along, because your dream home, the one that fits your lifestyle and your budget, shouldn't turn into your biggest headache.